Welcome to this week's Explainer. We're taking the most critical e-commerce news and operator knowledge from the week of July 26 to August 2nd, 2026, and turning it into a highly actionable playbook for your business. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so my goal today is to cut right through all the noise and give you the exact strategies you need to actually thrive out there. We've got a really packed agenda today. We'll start with a news blitz, then dive into the no-discount cart strategy, email list health, Google's DSA sunset, Shein's LRJR supply chain, and finally, the resilient founder mindset. We're going to clear the board first with a rapid-fire headline blitz on those macro shifts, and then slow things way down for a masterclass on retention and conversion tactics. Let's jump right in. Section 1, Weekly News and AI Blitz. All right, let's run through the macro headlines you need to know for your morning stand-up. The macro landscape is shifting incredibly fast right now. First off, Amazon Business just hit a staggering $60 billion run rate with over 11 million accounts. That is massive B2B growth. Meanwhile, TikTok Shop is reportedly testing a new Prime-style membership program. They're calling it TikTok Shop Plus, and they're experimenting with a $6 to $15 monthly fee for perks like free shipping. Over in tech, Apple is actually backing away from its in-house lending to launch an Apple upgrade device leasing program backed by Klarna. And finally, the Trump administration has imposed new Section 301 trade tariffs of 10 to 12.5%, targeting over 80 countries. Now, these tariffs are already facing immediate legal pushback in the Court of International Trade. For you as an operator, this definitely means some potential supply chain turbulence ahead. At the same time, the AI arms race is escalating wildly. The sheer desperation for data and computing power is hitting entirely new heights. AI labs are now literally buying and shredding rare books printed before 2022 by the ton. Why? Just to get their hands on clean data that's guaranteed to have no AI-generated writing in it. It's wild. Over in the model race, Anthropic just dropped Claude Opus 5, bringing frontier-level intelligence down to half the cost. And get this, OpenAI's Sam Altman is pitching the White House for faster model approvals by showing off an AI that solved an 80-year-old math puzzle called the Erdos unit distance problem. And backing all of this compute? Well, NVIDIA is reportedly in talks to guarantee the rent on a mind-blowing $500 billion data center in Ohio. The scale of capital being deployed here is just absolutely breathtaking. Section 2, the no-discount cart strategy. Okay, so with the news out of the way, let's slow the pace down and get into some highly tactical moves you can implement literally today, starting with your abandoned carts. So here's the absolute crucial point. An abandoned cart email converts at 21 times the rate of a standard campaign. Let that sink in for a second. 21 times. They already picked the item out, right? They don't necessarily need their arms twisted with a massive margin-crushing discount. Most of the time, they just need a gentle nudge to finish the job. Look at how the brand Dickies handles this. They close carts with proof instead of panic. Instead of just throwing a coupon at you, their cart email shows exact demand. They state 64 others have added to cart, right under the price. And then they pair this with actual customer reviews like, "You can never go wrong with Dickies." They are letting their customers close the sale for them. Then they sweep away those final objections by highlighting free shipping over $50, easy returns, and buy now, pay later options. It's a brilliant move. You might be wondering why this matters so much. Well, predictable discounts literally train your customers to wait for sales. If you offer 20% off like clockwork, you are creating patient, indecisive buyers. Instead, try gating your perks strictly to first-time orders, or even disguise them as free shipping, a free gift, or a bundle. By doing this, you protect the perceived value of your core product, and more importantly, you preserve your margin. Section 3, Email List Health and Deliverability. Let's shift gears to your retention channels and take a hard look at how a bloated list is quietly killing your email revenue. You need to ruthlessly apply what we call the 180-day rule. See, inbox providers like Gmail judge your domain's reputation based on engagement. If you keep emailing ghosts who haven't opened or clicked a single link in 6 months, your overall deliverability is going to tank. And what that means is your absolute best emails will get pushed straight into the spam folder for the people who actually want to read them. So, build a segment of inactive users, send one final "Do you still want to hear from us?" email, and suppress the rest. It means fewer sends, way better placement, and hey, a lower software bill. And here is a tiny, completely free fix that you can go and execute in 5 minutes. Stop using no reply in your sender address. Seriously, just rewrite your from name to a real person. It's literally the first thing your customer reads before they even look at the subject line. Having a real name drastically raises the odds that your message actually reads like a piece of personal mail instead of just another automated marketing blast. Section 4, Google's DSA Sunset Prep. Switching over to acquisition, we've got a major platform update to navigate. Google is officially sunsetting dynamic search ads, or DSAs, in favor of their new AI Max format. Now, you can still create DSA campaigns until January 2027, but the automatic migration begins in February 2027. So here's how you prepare so you don't lose your performance. 1. Migrate early so you stay in control of the timeline. 2. Review your brand controls using AI Max's text guidelines to make sure automatically generated ads don't violate your brand safety. 3. Monitor your search terms closely because AI Max factors in user intent signals, not just website crawling. And 4. Watch your final URL expansion like a hawk. DSA restricted traffic to specific targets, but AI Max, it's going to route users to any page on your site it thinks will convert. So you need to use strict URL exclusion lists to keep the AI focused. Section 5. Shein's LATR supply chain. Okay, time to zoom out to global supply chain mechanics and analyze some wild secrets revealed in Shein's recently disclosed IPO prospectus. The sheer scale of this operation is honestly hard to comprehend until you look at the numbers. Get this, Shein generated an astounding $41.8 billion in net revenue in 2025. That is backed by 273 million active customers placing over 1 billion orders. But here's the real kicker. Despite that revenue growing, their net profit actually dropped by roughly 38% to $2.06 billion. The reason why is an absolute masterclass in data storytelling and geopolitical impact. When you really dig into the data here, you see exactly how external forces are just eating their margins alive. By the first quarter of 2026, Shein's fulfillment costs spiked to a brutal 47.7% of their total revenue. This is a direct consequence of losing the U.S. de minimis tax exemption for low-value parcels. You add in rising marketing costs, which are now sitting at 15.8% as they battle Temu and Amazon Haul for traffic, and you see a company under immense profitability pressure, even though they've been improving their gross margins. So how in the world do they survive this? They combat these rising costs with their LATR model, which stands for Lean, Agile, and Test and Repeat. Instead of trying to guess trends, Shein produces tiny batches of just 100 to 200 units. They release them, and then their digital supply chain tracks every single click, add to cart, and purchase in real time. If a product hits their algorithmic threshold, boom, it triggers an automatic replenishment order that goes from the factory straight to the storefront in as little as 5 days. This real-time system builds their true competitive advantage. By running this exact playbook across 7,500 connected factories, Shein has an inventory turnover of just 36 days. That means their capital spends almost zero time tied up in warehouses. To put that into perspective, compare it to 88 days for Zara and 138 days for H&M. While the traditional giants are forced to heavily discount seasonal stock that didn't sell, Shein simply stops making the duds and scales up the winners instantly. It's a game changer. Section 6, the resilient founder mindset. All right, we've covered a ton of tactical ground today, from email hygiene to AI ad bidding and global supply chains. But I really want to end this explainer on a philosophical note about what it actually takes to survive as an operator in this crazy environment. NVIDIA's CEO, Jensen Huang, spoke recently about how he definitely didn't start out with the perfect tech. In fact, he had to teach himself accelerated computing from 3 textbooks he bought at a local electronics store. His core message to operators was incredibly simple. Stubborn resilience will always outperform raw intellect. Think about it. Brilliant strategies fail, markets turn, tariffs happen out of nowhere. True survival requires waking up and solving the ugly problems right in front of you. So as you face down algorithm shifts, rising fulfillment costs, and massive AI disruption this week, ask yourself a question. Are you just trying to be brilliant, or are you actually building the resilience to get through one day at a time? Take these tactics, apply them to your business, and just keep pushing forward. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.